The small community of Trun in Bulgaria, where the unemployment rate is more than 10% of the population, projects for gold mining arise worries about environmental issues that this activity may impose. The investment proposition was submitted by a Canadian-owned firm. Environmental assessments are already in process, but the local community is looking for answers through the industry practices. First of all, investigations point out that the mining company was bought by a Bulgarian corporation, one of the biggest investors in the country with strong positions in the government. This information arises more worries that the issues might be neglected in the sake of the profit of the private investor. The incoming mining project includes underground mining, open pit exploitation, flotation facility, tailing facility. They will remove forests to make road for the trucks. Great amounts of water will be extracted and poisoned where the source is the underground waters and the nearby running river of Erma. We asked 5 questions to experts and industry representatives to find out about the risks and the profits of this project. First question that we asked to our respondents concerns the chemicals to be used in the process.
These substances they are very poison. Like example sand, who is using in the process of purifying the copper and the gold.
Cyanide bleaching is practically no investor will propose to put cyanide bleaching.
Тези вещества.
Can you explain what these substances are?
Че това е сапунена пяна.
Ето има химичните формули, може да ги видите.
Това е R8860К.
Това е химично вещество, което ще се ползва.
Това аеро не съществува в Менделеевата таблица.
Нека да отговорим по-подробно на това, защото да влезем в спор, който
може ли в последствие да получим информация за това? Аеро 8806
Аз съм сигурна, че и в Google да го пуснете, ще видите какво стои, но аз се ангажирам да ви отговоря какво стои за това.
What is flotation? Flotation is you use physical forces practically, and you put some additional chemicals that create something like a salt foam, and it takes the metals up on the surface, so the surface part is taken and put as concentrate, and the rest goes to the tailings. So they kind of try to explain what flotation is without using the word, because nobody, people who go to the place, if you tell them flotation, not many of them are.
Yeah, but you said chemicals.
But in general, the chemicals that are used for flotation, they are not toxic. They are not really something very dangerous, except in case you jump inside.
Фотохранилищата се изграждат с мембрана, която предотвратява по всякакъв начин проникването на тези минимални количества. Ако другата задача, че в затворен водоносител, тя ще се използва няколко пъти, ще се пречиства и въобще няма да има повод да напусне въобще нашия затворен.
For example, I will just remember you about the Krupanj mine in Serbia. After the flows in 2014 in Serbia, big amounts of that the dump waste was flowed in the rivers of near to Krupanj and damaged a lot of municipalities across the river of Loznica, and also that waters go in the river of Drina, then in Sava, and going on.
Along with the chemicals, which are a very controversial issue, since gold extraction applies the most lethal elements known to man, such as cyanides, the other big issue is the fact that there will be 3 open pits in the region. This method consists in completely changing the landscape. Basically, a few hills will be brought down to blasts. only to extract all the gold that is contained in the rocks.
Gold mining is one of the most dangerous, harmful for the nature, especially when the gold mine is a surface mine. Open pit is the most dangerous because you have a lot of area who will be digged, a big amount of rocks, of soil, destroying of the forests in that area, destroying of the species, flora, fauna. You cut the natural paths of the animals in that way. You have also pollutions like noise, like dust, not only for the workers who will work in the miners who will work in that open pit, but also for the population of surrounding area.
Голяма част от остатъка ще се използва за обратното запълване на галериите в северния участък. Ако някой от вас е присъствал на тези взривове, те не са чак толкова впечатляващи. Камиона, който движеше по улицата, вдигаше повече прах, отколкото се вдигна прах от взривове. В този момент не сме говорили за подобни конкретни цифри, защото тук има много възможности от горски пътища, които си съществуват. Да, те се използват.
I'm a very nature-loving person. I think I have been to the Bulgarian mountains like half my life. And that's why I don't really like open cast mining. You know, it definitely changes the landscape. Former mine, it's such a crazy place. You know, you can see all these structures there that were used like 50 years ago, and nature took them completely. Open cast mining will leave an open pit. Yeah. It will be something that will stay forever. There will be a lake probably after that, instead of on the place of the pit. The large holes in the ground that you command are large for somebody who hasn't seen a large mine.
Well, I have seen that.
Yeah, so large mine means really.
The impact of this project may go below the national borders, as the community of Trun is a borderline one. Same goes of the profits of that controversial industry, as Serelmedet, the owner of the original exploration company Euromax Services, is an Austrian-owned company, who is bound to take the responsibility for the damages when the property is shared between corporations and branches. They also share the profit, but the damaged ground will stay there forever, and the local people won't receive a significant deal of the profit. The most precious natural resource, the water for irrigation and drinking, is put to a risk beyond measure.
The purpose of the gold mine is only a gold and maybe a copper. But we usually forget that this area is also a resource for the nature, for the species, from flora and fauna, and usually the companies didn't care about these things, and their will is also is only a profit and nothing else but by profit.
Процедурата за това да се стигне до добив до един етап е извършвана от една фирма, след това сме продължили ние. Начина, по който се стига до златно-сребърен концентрат не е някаква уникална технология, това е съвсем широко използван, даже би може би най-използвания конвенционален метод.
Old miners died from silicals and the many kids who've been left orphanage. So you said that the miners who came here, they speak with pleasure and joy about the same mind.
Начина, по който ще бъде изградено всичко тук и технологиите, по които ще се работи, са коренно различни, дори с неща, които в България не са... По такава технология в България до сега нищо не е.
There are two types of mining companies. The first type are the mining operators, the big mining companies that actually operate mines. And the second are the so-called junior companies. What they do geological surveying. They prove resources and deposits, reserves, and usually they sell then the project to an operator. So Euromax Resources was a junior company that actually invested in surveying in Bulgaria, Macedonia and Serbia, as far as I know. They developed several projects. The first one was the project in Breznik, which was again bought by Asarel Medet. And then the second one is the project in Trun. And so for the project in Trun, the company that developed it was called Euromax Services, which was part of Euromax Resources.
It's a Canadian.
Yeah. So Asarel Medet bought Euromax Services, which is they took not only the project, but they took also many of the people who actually worked on the project. Why do they keep the same name? I don't know.
Here we see that you have one small river, and you separate that river between Bulgaria and Serbia. Of course, that will be damages in Bulgaria, but also in Serbia.
About Trun, the whole procedure with unification of Serbia is already done. So the Serbian government said there will be no impact according to us. We are not interested.
The finance, the money what will be used to cover the damage are more than the profit they get by the state and by the local population. Of course, it's not paid that the company will take a big amount of the profit.
It is clear that natural resources will be sacrificed in the mining and extraction process. The region is believed to be one of the poorest in Europe, and now someone is willing to take out the gold, cut down the forest and blow out the hills with the promise to hire people. So if someone is aiming to stop the project, should be ready to point out some alternatives for economical development of the region. Euromax Services is ready to hire as many as 100 local people, mostly non-expert positions. This is less than 1/4 of the actual number of unemployed people.
You always have alternatives. One of the biggest alternatives is, of course, agricultural. We find that this is a very fruitful soil. Also, you have one beautiful, wonderful nature, who is also a big potential for development in alternative ways of tourism, maybe mountain bike tours, organizing the mountain bike tours. You have the churches, you have the waters here. That is the treasure. That is the big treasure, and that treasure is for forever.
Другия сериозен потенциал на този район е туризма. Истината е, че най-често се идва до транспортно ждрело. Тази територия, въпреки че е толкова красива, страда от липса на туризма.
From point of view of nature conservation, this southern part that we have seen there is nothing there. In terms of species and habitats, it's a forest now, but it's a very young forest. The northern area, it's a different story. Yeah, it's a Natura 2000 site. We told them directly, guys, if you want to do open pit mining there, forget about it. It will not happen. It will not go through the Natura 2000 assessment. But there, you have to build some roads. You have to have access to the. It's underground, but you have access. Obviously, you need to. If there are existing roads, you have to improve them. Because these tracks are not, forestry tracks.
This project is the size that is able to industrialize the entire Trun region. The responsibility is to be held upon the next generations, but who is responsible now to survey the activity and to cover the consequences?
The main responsibility is on the hand of the government or the politicians, but we can exclude the responsibility of the companies. All over the world, you can just see the situation. For example, in Brasilia, they destroy big areas for one purpose, and that is only a profit. Every company who will start to work, first of all, they must care about the environment. Because the environment is the only resource who share all people in the world.
Предвиден бюджет за обезщетение в случай, че се нанесат щети за къщите на хората.
So there is no budget for
Ние няма да направим нищо, което е възможно да предизвика щети.
It's a general problem in the mining industry, and when mining is too close to politics, there are always problems. And in the end, people suffer, actually. Potential pollution to water, well, as I said, there is no mining project that has zero risk of pollution.
Necessary activism what the local people must take, because we must think not only for us, but we must think also for our children, our grandchildren, and we must think about all the nature and all the economical prosperity of not only for the local people, but also and for the state.
It's very important that actually people are pressing all the time the investor to do the right thing. And I think in Bulgaria this kind of pressure exists. This kind of pressure happens.
We are trying to talk to the municipality here in Trun without a great deal of success at the moment. What is your relationship with the people here? The mayor and the deputy?
Правилно ли разбрах, че не сте успели да се видите с местния тук трънския кмет? Още не.
Те отговарят.
До сега не мога да се оплачат. Ние сме се виждали с тях, говорили сме, те са ни търсили за информация. В никакъв случай не съм усетила нежелание от тях да говорят. По-скоро това е така характеристика, може би, на организацията на работа в по-малки места.
The thing is in the propaganda. Usually the companies and also in the governments, ministries, on the back of the economical prosperity and of sharing some point of wonderful dreams about the good quality of life and a better economical situation of the people, they use this fact in opposite of sustainable approach. We have 23 years of working of that mining, but what about after this 23 years? Who will where that people will work? What they will work if you have destroyed nature resources forever.